Look, if you're watching this explainer right now, there is a very good chance that you, or maybe someone you know, just heard that awful stomach-dropping crunch of metal. Getting into a car accident is incredibly stressful, but I'm here to be your guide through the chaos. Take a deep breath, we're going to get through this together step by step and make sure you know exactly how to handle the claims process with National General.
Picture this. You're standing on the side of the road. Your heart's racing, your hands are probably shaking a little bit, and you're staring down at a crumpled bumper. It's literally one of the most frustrating things ever, especially if you've never filed an insurance claim before. But seriously, don't panic. National General actually has a highly structured system designed to get your life back to normal. Today, we're going to decode that entire system so you know exactly what to do.
Okay, let's dive into this. We've broken this whole journey down into 5 super manageable parts. A quick intro to National General, immediate steps at the crash scene, the step-by-step filing process, some insider tips to speed up your payout, and finally, your most frequently asked questions. Part 1. Introduction to National General. Before you hand over your info, it's really important to understand exactly who is handling your policy and why their resources actually matter to you. So, National General, which is now an all-state company, is definitely no newcomer. They've been serving policyholders since 1920. But here's a fascinating piece of trivia that directly benefits you. They actually originated from the automotive manufacturing sector as the GMAC insurance group. So they uniquely understand cars and the people inside them, bringing over a century of automotive heritage right to your claim. And because of that rich history, they offer some incredibly practical perks when you're stranded. Depending on your specific coverage, you might actually have an emergency expense allowance that covers up to $500 for food, lodging, and travel after a covered claim. So if you're stuck far from home, you're not just left out in the cold. Plus, if you use one of their gold medal repair shops, boom, those collision repairs are guaranteed for the lifetime of your vehicle.
All right, moving into part 2, preparing for your claim. Let's talk about time zero, the immediate aftermath of the crash. Here is your immediate on-the-scene action checklist. First and foremost, safety. Move your car out of active traffic if you can, and check everyone for injuries. And hey, don't just assume you're perfectly fine. Adrenaline is notorious for hiding pain. Next, and this is absolutely critical, call the authorities. A formal police report provides an objective, third-party record of the scene, which heavily aids the adjusters later on. Finally, document everything. Swap names and plates, and use your smartphone to take lots of clear photos of the damage and the intersection.
So, the crucial point here, and you really want to remember this warning, do not admit fault or try to assess blame at the scene. Look, it's so human to step out of the car, feel terrible, and just start apologizing. But legally, you have to let the adjusters and the police look at the evidence and determine liability. Only discuss the details of the crash with the responding officer and your National General rep.
Okay, part 3, the step-by-step filing process. Once everyone's safe and you've got your photos, it's time to transition from roadside chaos into actually getting things fixed. National General actually gives you a few different ways to open your claim. You can just call their 24/7 support line at 1-800-468-3466. You can also file online at claims.nationalgeneral.com/report. But pay special attention to the mobile app option. It actually uses a click-and-dial triage system. That basically means instead of filling out a massive digital form on your phone, the app just acts as a shortcut to connect you directly to the telephone claims department.
Once you make that initial contact, here is the exact chronological journey your claim is going to take. Step 1 is filing, handing over your policy number and the police report. Step 2 is the review phase, where a dedicated claims specialist takes the reins to assess coverage and fault. Step 3 is estimates and repairs, where they calculate the physical damage to your car. And finally, Step 4, payments are issued, minus any deductible you might owe. Now, what's really interesting about this next slide is an awesome digital feature called My Claim Pics. If your car is safely drivable, just minor fender bender stuff, you don't have to wait days for a physical inspection. You simply submit those smartphone photos you took through their virtual estimating service. National General can usually turn around an initial repair estimate within 24 hours. It is a massive time saver. On the flip side, if the accident unfortunately involved injuries, the review process is naturally going to be more complex. National General uses a specialized software program called Colossus. Basically, this standardizes bodily injury evaluations by analyzing medical codes and recovery times to ensure everything is fair and consistent. But don't worry, you aren't just a number in an algorithm. Severe or complex claims are always carefully reviewed by actual human operators.
Part 4. Speeding up your claim. Because let's be real, nobody wants to wait weeks for a resolution.
right?
While complex claims naturally take longer, you actually have a lot of control over the momentum. Keeping your policy information updated before a crash happens is huge. Always provide accurate driver info right up front. Return your adjuster's phone calls promptly. Seriously, don't let days go by without answering their questions. And finally, have a preferred repair shop researched and ready in your mind.
And this brilliantly illustrates a major logistical trap that catches so many beginners off guard. National General is headquartered in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. But whatever you do, do not mail physical evidence to that corporate address. If you try to mail in police reports or medical bills there, it's going to severely delay your claim. You absolutely must submit your documents electronically by emailing them to service@ngic.com or claims@ngic.com. That one tip alone will save you weeks of frustration.
Finally, Part 5, Frequently Asked Questions. Let's tackle some of those lingering anxieties you might still have about your insurance standing. Question number 1, will my premium skyrocket after I file? This is for sure the single most common fear drivers have. A lot of people debate whether they should even report an accident at all, completely terrified that using the insurance they literally pay for will cause their rates to go through the roof.
Let me reassure you right now, filing a claim does not automatically mean a rate hike. National General generally doesn't penalize you for things outside of your control. Rates usually only increase if you represent a higher risk, things like having a bunch of accidents in a short time, a history of reckless driving, or a DUI. If you're a safe driver who just had a stroke of bad luck, don't let financial anxiety stop you from filing.
Next question. How long is this whole process actually going to take? It's super practical. You rely on your car for work, for your family, for your freedom. You want to know the timeline from the crash to that final payment hitting your bank account.
Setting realistic expectations is key here. Like we mentioned earlier, if you have minor damages and use that My Claim Picks tool, processing can actually take as little as 24 hours. The more accurate you are up front, the faster they move. However, if the crash was severe, if fault is disputed, or if there are bodily injuries, going through that Colossus software is just naturally going to take a few weeks to settle properly.
So, what does this all mean for you? You now have the complete map for navigating a National General insurance claim. You know the steps, the digital tools, and the pitfalls to avoid. I highly recommend that you proactively update your policy today and save 1-800-468-3466 right into your phone's contacts. Just a quick reminder, the information in this explainer is for informational purposes only and doesn't replace official legal or expert advice. Definitely consult directly with National General for your specific situation. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this explainer with someone who might need it. I'll leave you with this final thought. The absolute best time to prepare for an accident isn't while you're standing on the shoulder of a highway in shock. It's right now. Are you truly prepared for the unexpected? Drive safe, and we'll see you in the next one.